My name is Corporal Groover, and I'll be conducting the class on practice noise, light, and litter discipline. Task number 071-Charlie Oscar Mike-0815. The risk assessment for this class is low, but be sure to not trip over any power cords, be aware of your surroundings, cover up any cords when able to. Number 2, ensure that all your drinks have lids on them and that the lids are securely tight to make sure that you don't spill them on any of your electronics. In the case of an active shooter, seek cover and hide, fight back when needed. And then in the case of a fire, get out of the building as soon as possible. Take accountability as soon as you get outside to ensure that everyone made it outside safely. And then lastly, the Army is a green Army, so we're going to make sure that we reduce, reuse, and recycle. Alrighty, next I'm going to go over the PCI and PCC checklists. Number 1, make sure you have your ID card when your ID tag is on you at all times. Number 2, make sure that you have a water source. Make sure that water source is filled up. Number 3, note taking. Make sure you have a piece of paper and a pen. Get with me if you don't have any of that. I got extras. Number 4 is your Kevlar. Make sure you have your Kevlar on. Make sure all the straps are secured to fit you. Number 5 is your plate carrier. Make sure your plate carrier is set up depending on company SOP. Get with your team leader if you have any questions. Make sure you also have your IFACT on your plate carrier. Looks like this. Again, get with your team leader for SOP on which side to put that on. Make sure that you have your iPro and that you're wearing them. Make sure that you have a whoopee with you. We'll be using the whoopee during the light discipline portion, so have that on you. Optional is your headset. If you have a headset, great. We can definitely use that. Next is your reflective belt. This is really important at nighttime to ensure that you don't get hit by a car or a truck, when there's no sunlight out. And then lastly is your MRE. Make sure that you got your MRE for the day. Alrighty, and next I'm going to give you an intro of the class. So this is again practicing noise, light, and litter discipline. Conditions: you're a member of an element conducting a tactical mission. The standard is to ensure that noise was kept at a minimum, no light was visible to the enemy, and the area was free of litter and other evidence of the unit's presence. The performance steps: number 1, comply with noise discipline. We're going to avoid all unnecessarily vehicular and foot movement. So watch where you're stepping, make sure you don't fall in any holes, trip and fall as a safety hazard, and then be sure to not step on any sticks or leaves. Secure all metal parts to prevent them from making noise. You can use tape for this. If you do not restrict any moving parts of the weapon, if doing so prevents their operation. So, a sling is okay and that kind of stuff, but anything else that prevents the operation of a weapon, don't do it. Talk only to conduct or explain operations, so keep talking at a bare minimum. Only talk when needed. Use hand signals. Get with your company SOP and your team leaders to go over hand signals. Use the radio only when necessary, keeping the volume low. This is a part where the headset comes into handy. If you do have a headset and you are able to plug the radio in, be sure that you can do that so that you don't have to have the radio on speaker. Alrighty, next is comply with light discipline. Number 1 is do not smoke at night. The tip of this cigarette burning and the lighter flash can give away the position to your enemies, so we want to make sure that we're not doing that. Conceal any flashlight or filter light. So this is where the whoopee comes in handy. If for whatever reason you need to look at a piece of writing or map, what you want to do is get your whoopee out, put it over yourself, look at the map under the whoopee with the flashlight, make sure that the light is filtered. Also, red light is extremely important, so we don't want to use any white light, so make sure that you're using red light because it travels less. Cover anything that reflects light, so any shiny pieces of metal on your gear or any of that sort of stuff. Use all available natural concealment, so hills, bushes, holes. We want to make sure that we're trying to stay concealed as possible. Camouflage all vehicles and equipment. Make sure you're using natural camouflage from around the campground, or make sure you're using all natural camouflage to conceal the vehicles. So if you guys move locations, make sure you're only using camouflage from that location. Next, what we're going to do is comply with litter discipline. This is extremely important. Number one, if you were to leave the area and the enemy was to come on the area, you want to make sure that all the trash is cleaned up so that they can never know that you are ever there. Number two is we want to be sure that we're not leaving our trash or leftover foods out in case dangerous animals such as these were to come. We want to make sure that we're not attracting any dangerous animals like these, because that poses a really big safety hazard to your whole company and your unit. So number one is take all litter to established collection points. Number two, carry all litter with you until you can dispose of it. Easiest way you can do this, use that MRE packet. All the MRE trash, just put it back in that packet and stuff it in your rucksack. Next, what we're going to do is just the practice scenario. So you are a member of an element conducting a tactical mission and have been directed to comply with noise, light, and litter discipline. Standards are prevent the enemy from locating your element by practicing noise, light, and litter discipline at all times. Special conditions, none. The safety risk is low. The three things that you'll be evaluated on: noise discipline, light discipline, and litter discipline. You'll either be a go or a no-go. If you fail, you'll be retested after a quick review. So first we're going to break, study for a little bit, and then you'll be tested, and then retested if needed. So let's go ahead and break and go ahead and study on your own. Okay, break's over. Alrighty, now we're going to go over the test. Okay, the first test is over. We're going to do a quick review for the ones who got a no-go on the first try. Okay, the retest is over. Now we are all good to go. So congratulations, you guys have just completed the class for practice noise, light, and litter discipline. So now we're just going to do a verbal after action report. Okay, this is what went good, and this is what didn't go good, what can be changed next time. Next, we're going to please call the area. The area should be clean since we just went over a class on, picking up your litter. Okay, and then team leaders, please do a quick sensitive items check, and then prepare to head back to the fob.